good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a fine Labor Day 25. I'm going to guess that you are if you're watching this, because that means you're a Michigan fan and the Wolverines had an impressive opener on Saturday night at the Big House. And here to talk about it, as always, is the former Wolverine, Jim Scarcelli. Scar, what's going on this Labor Day?
Danny, I've got anybody that's been listening to old Scar for a couple of years knows that I beat this little Schembechler joke up every year on Labor Day. Bo would come out to practice on Labor Day every year. He said the same damn thing. Call us up right before practice. You know, you're all padded up, ready for a tough practice. And he's like, men, it's Labor Day and we will labor. And then he would laugh with his little.
That was a pretty good Bo laugh. Well, I have to admit, Dave Abloff, who's the one that is in charge of media relations today, before Sharon Moore started, said, "Happy Labor Day and thanks for laboring."
That's it. We got that from Schembechler.
No, he said, as Lloyd Carr would say, but
Lloyd stole it from him, and who knows? Bo might have stole it from Woody, because Woody stole stuff from Patton. And it always trickled down. Danny, I'm just fired up, man. I'm fired up. We've got a quarterback. I've watched him in high school. Look great. I watched him, in spring practice. I went to a practice. I watched him we all watched him in the spring game, and I was at practice a couple weeks ago. But you don't know how a guy's going to play under pressure in front of 110. And it was just so good to see. And Denny, I'm happy for the seniors, because, when you play a freshman quarterback, you're thinking it's rebuild. That's what we ain't rebuilding jack. We're going. We're ready. I had talked to a player. I'm not going to tell you who it was. I talked to a current player right after spring ball, about the team and this, that, or whatever. And I brought up quarterback, and this guy is a credible guy for Michigan. He's like, man, Bryce is the real deal. This is what he told me back in like May or something. So it's playing out. He looked really, really good. I'm fired up for what I'm seeing from Chip. What we put a team together, and I'm gonna get into it on that film. And it ain't no rebuild, man. And I just real quick, I saw they had a little clip on Twitter of Bryce coming out hitting the banner. I don't know if you saw it. He almost, he jumped so high. I remember that, like the first time I jumped come out of that tunnel too, and hit the banner. I hit my damn face mask on it and almost fell on my butt, because it's not as high as you think. Anyway, Danny, Scar's fired up. I'm fired up for seniors. I'm fired up for what I'm seeing from coaching, and it was a good win. And N.Mexico is no joke. The guy over there is a good coach. He's a good coach. So we'll get into some things.
Well, if you took just what you saw in the pregame, they had Underwood lead him off the bus, and he went the wrong way. Didn't know where they had to say, no, the tunnel's over here. And then if you saw, he almost jumped over the banner, you'd say, oh, this guy's, he's too nervous or everything else. But everybody's been talking about him for years, even in high school. You knew it. You went and saw him play in high school, and all these players talking about, he doesn't look like a freshman and all these things. Oh, he's great. But then you say he lived up to the hype. The talent is enormous. He's enormous, and he's got such an arm, and he's got such athletic ability. I haven't seen, you see guys. Chet Henne had a great arm as a freshman. He could really throw the ball, but you're throwing the ball. Those 20-yard, 30-yard strikes down the seam where I remember the first quarterback I remember, some of the receivers would even complain about how hard he threw the ball, was Doug Williams, who played for Washington. Like, apparently he just had a rocket arm. But Aaron Rodgers, would really, and so did Favre. They threw the hardest passes. Underwood throws those seam routes where he's putting the ball on these guys. I mean, he just sticking it in there. That he's got, you say an NFL arm, the guys like to say they make all the throws and everything, but then he's in a category, just watching that fastball that he has of I don't know. I'd put him in with all the NFL guys. That looks like a 99 percentile type arm. The way, and there's not a lot of what he just gets out there, and it's almost like he's a transformer, and he just turns his arm, and then that ball just goes shooting out there. It was really impressive. But man, he was jumping, he was split legging, he was side arming it, and it was all. And then he did throw some with some touch, and like the touchdown pass was nice and easy. He threw another little one that was it took a little bit of touch to get that ball to Klein, who then went under it. I thought he was fabulous.
Securing the football was number one. Yes. He did that.
Yes, he did.
Those are the things I wanted more than anything. I wanted him to secure the football, and I wanted him to complete the high percentage passes and be great with that. And he did that. And there were some stuff was real small windows. He dimed them in there. But, we didn't see the run game yet. I'm sure it's there. They don't want to run him any more than they had to. But, Denny, we're confident he's going to – and you're going to see the biggest improvement in a football team for every single player is from game 1 to game 2. That's the biggest improvement. He got acclimated to the big house and the bus and the banner and the dealing with the stress and the hotel and the clam chowder and the movie and all that routine and the roommate and the police escort, and he's getting, all that stuff is it'll be second nature going to Oklahoma, and it'll be different on the road, but he's going to keep getting better. And and I really like Chip, Denny, Josh and the guys put up a great passing map chart of all of Bryce's of all of the passes, and I really like it because we are attacking every corner of the field, deep, left, right, middle, intermediate, left, right, middle, and then the short routes, left, right, middle, and that's smart coaching. You attack everything, make them defend everything. Josh and the guys had that up there, and I really enjoyed looking at that.
Yeah, I thought with everything that was going on that you'd just be happy if he got the center exchanges and that if he was able to get the plays in and out. There's so many things that go on as a quarterback, and as you mentioned, he was able to do all of those things. I also thought that they would spoon feed him a little bit with the let's just hand it off. Let's play smash mouth. This is smash. This is Michigan and all that. But no, he seemed like he had the full playbook, and he's throwing down the field, and he's running around, and not running around where he always seemed like he knew. There was maybe a couple passes that you'd say, it wasn't completely perfect, but the arm and his awareness of everything, I don't think you could have asked for anything better. I think if you're a Michigan fan, you come out of the game and you feel like you got the quarterback instantaneously. Yeah, we'll see how he's able to do this week, but you've got the talent, and he already is way up here where everything is at, and you feel like you've got a star at the quarterback position, and it can make up for so many things. Yeah, you're going to need the rest of the team and the coaches and everything else, but he looks like he can handle all of it. You just have to be overjoyed if you're a fan of the Maize and Blue. A great debut by the team, and obviously by Bryce Underwood.
Yeah, Denny, we're going to get into the overall scheme and the things that I'm seeing that are making a quarterback's job easier, or offensive line easier, and we'll get into. Denny, let me before we get into the Big Ten, I'm going to just quick thoughts on our offense, because I thought our running backs are physical. They secured the freaking ball, man. Secured the ball. They're physical and tough. Our receivers, McCullough, Morgan, and Goodwin got the majority of the reps, and they're threats. All three of them are threats. And then we got some young guys, Belmore, Marsh got some reps. But I like that we've got receivers that are threats. They're legitimate threats. Our tight end, Klein and Bredesen. I was disappointed that I guess Hoffman's hurt, banged up a little bit. That might be the story there. I was disappointed that we're not seeing a third tight end. I'd like to know what's going on with Prescorn. He highly recruited kid. Marshall played a little bit. I think
Freescore's been hurt. He's working back, so they weren't.
Okay. Our offensive line, I would like to have seen a third tackle get in. We hardly saw Frazier in there. Apparently, he's the third tackle. We saw three guards, so that's good to know. And I don't know who the backup center is. And I just wanted to touch on that real quick offensively before we get into some down the list there.
Well, let me give you two of the headlines, and that is the reason that Frazier came in. He had a great block on one of the touchdowns there that you could see from the a camera above that they had, and you could really see that he came off the ball and blocked well. Andrew Sprague was out, and people were worried about him being injured, and Sharon Moore says just a cramp, so he should be good to go for Saturday. The other thing, Jay-Sean Barham with the targeting call and the ejection for the first half. Michigan did go to the and try to appeal. They did appeal. Tony Batiti was behind Michigan, crazy as that sounds, and it was denied or upheld. So Barham is going to miss the first half against the Sooners coming up.
Yeah, so much inconsistency with that. It's just terrible. And Michigan's done a good job. Since Jim got there and they started with the the targeting penalties, so watching them so closely, we've done a good job coaching it up, aiming for the chest, and we just got to be so smart, man. And it's sad. It's sad. Literally, Denny, you could literally have a collision on the opening play of the second half on a kickoff team and be out for that entire half and the next half, the next game. You know what I mean? I don't think that's basically that's a whole game almost. I'd like to see a 30-minute deal from the time of when, if they could find, that's just me. I think it should be 30 minutes from when that situation happens. But anyway, listen,
you have so many different people looking at it. I think the frustrating part is you go back to last year, Ohio State had their defensive player thrown out of the game, and they had Penn State coming up the next week, which is a huge game for Ohio State last year. They won the national championship, and they got the appeal. They got it overturned, and he was able to play. I think I haven't reviewed the tape yet, but I'd read online that people had said whoever the rules analyst was during the game for NBC, he didn't think that it was targeting. So, he would have been in there. So it wasn't like you're sitting here and everybody's just like, oh, yeah, that's a head and neck. And he's guaranteed that he's out. There was some discrepancy there. And that's going to be really frustrating. It's a huge, like you're saying, and you're right. I mean, it's a huge penalty. And you got, half the people that are, like a rules analyst, you got him saying, oh, he didn't even think it was targeting, and then you get it upheld. That's not a good rule. It's not been a good rule for a while, and it's not till it happens to your team that you get. But it's been a bad rule for a couple of years. So hopefully they're able to. Nobody wants anybody to get hit in the head neck area, and you got to. But you also don't want guys getting thrown out when everybody's looking at it and they're different rules or different opinions being applied. And half the people think this and half the people think that. So,
yeah, just some real quick thoughts on the defense, Denny. These guys got almost equal reps. Benny, Etta, Pierce, Williams, they're all around 35s. It's amazing. I remember games. I was never under 70 as a player. The second, it's just so much smarter. These guys they can play so much harder, so much faster. You're not going to get beat up. It makes so much more sense. But let me ask you if they rotated a hell of a lot of guys. Do you think they keep that free flowing rotation, or are they going to? They might tighten it up because they said they were going to look and see how guys play in this game, and then maybe tighten that thing up. Because to be honest with you, you get to 30. You want to get a feel for the game. You want to get a flow. You want to get. That's why I think you're going to see guys jumping off sides. Before you get a real feel for the cadence of the quarterback, you got to be kind of timid defensively. Obviously you're going to move on movement is how we coach it, but you like to get a feel for the game, for the guy you're playing against. How they're communicating. Sometimes you can hear their communication, and if you're only in and out all the time, there's a downside to it. But obviously you stay fresh. But I liked. We rotated 4 guys at the edge, and Marshall went in a little bit at the edge. Yeah. And then, again, equal reps with the DTs. Linebackers were solid in there. 4 guys played the majority. So Sullivan didn't play as much. Rolder played more than Sullivan. So that was interesting. Then we had 12 guys playing the secondary. We got good safeties, man. Let me just say this too. From my experience coaching, and I think safety, you got to have safeties. Okay, those dudes are those are the guys applying the collisions. I just think the position of safety more so than any other. You got full blown coming up 10, 12, 15-yard collisions. You know what I mean? Those are big time collisions with safety. So you have to have depth there because it's a highly physical position. So it's good. Saw a lot of guys play, and we got some safeties that'll come up and tackle. So that's just my quick thoughts. And I don't know that it would have been much different if we won 49-0 in terms of how many guys we played defensively. You know what I mean? We would have played more offensively winning 49-0, but defensively, I think it was about the same darn thing in terms of how many guys played, because I like that we played a lot of guys.
Yeah, and there's a couple things there. Sharon Moore was asked about not going for it at the 48. That looked like taking candy from a baby. I was thinking, and especially, you're watching college football now. I'm thinking almost every team goes for it, but especially if you're a team like Michigan. But Sharon Moore said it was 14-0 at the time. His defense was playing well. So he decided that, he was going to punt it. Michigan fans seem to be upset about that decision. The defense was
Danny, he's looking at that first up to that point. This team was really over. We're going to look at the film. They were overcommitting to stop the run, big time. And maybe he felt, these guys we're not moving them around maybe as easy as he thought. Those decisions are based on what he's seeing as the game's going on. They weren't terrible in short yardage situations.
So you coach, would you have had Hillman, they went for it on 4th down and threw the bomb, whatever it was, 20, 30, 40 yards, and Hillman picked it off, which was great for him, but they lost 40 yards of field position. Don't you tell your guys
you coach that, but you as a player and coach, you're repping coverage and intercepting. You work on catching the ball on defense. You work on it, and then you're just conditioned as a player to catch the football, and you have to be aware of that, and it's hard to do, Danny, because it's just human nature. You're playing in the defensive secondary, and you realize it's 4th down, and then it's just okay. There's the ball, but that's what you've been doing forever. The ball's right there, go get it and catch it, but it's hard to block that out and realize to just knock it down. Sometimes it's a lot easier said. It's a lot easier said than done because of, just human nature and conditioning to catch everything that's thrown to you.
Well, just think over the last 10 or 15 years, what we've seen in the NFL. It used to be guys would always just score no matter what the time, whatever time was left or whatever the score was. But then you started seeing no, there's no reason to score. Go down at the 1. You can just bleed the clock out. And yet still, when everybody finally realized that, you still had running, whoever it was, they just went in for the score. And it still happens where you see guys, and you're like, what are you doing? And so that's one of the things I'm with you on that. All right. So with that, the Buckeyes, let's talk about the Big Ten. I watched that game, and, Arch Manning was a real disappointment in that one. I also remember when you get two really, powerhouse teams that are playing in the opener, it's not always great football. I can remember watching, Miami and Florida playing back in the day, and it'd be like a 16-13 game, and it's especially if teams are not hitting in that way, but. I thought there was a little bit of that, the first game jitters or whatever else. Maybe the defense is being real good, but Arch Manning, my biggest takeaway, and sure, if they would have got some of the 4th downs, it could have been a different game, but he was he didn't look good.
Yeah, he missed a lot of easy passes, and that was not the Texas team that we faced last year. Absolutely not. The world of difference between playing. It was his first start. Or first big start on the road. He has started the game. But listen, Ohio State, saying's good. I remember, he was the top quarterback, highly recruited. I was happy when he committed to Alabama, and then he comes up and decides to go to Ohio State. So he's good. He's a problem, man. He's a Baker Mayfield type kid. He's a lot like what we're going to see Saturday. They're fast, athletic, accurate. This saying's the real deal. Okay, we got to deal with him. And Ohio State. I don't know how good they are on defense because that Texas offense they can't complete a pass. First couple passes, the guys are wide open. He's throwing it in the ground. So Ohio State, my initial look is like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I didn't realize how many good players they lost. And normally they just reload, and it's only game one. But I just didn't see defensively, we'll see. But I don't know that I see the big freaking freak athletes as much. So my confidence level is good against them. I'm going to work back. I'm only going to talk about the teams on our schedule. Northwestern, I had them as picking against Tulane. They're a disappointment. That guy, I thought he'd do a better job as a coach. Their talent level is not quite there. Purdue's a damn good coach. The guy hammered, who the hell did they beat? He's good. And he's got a decent quarterback. He's real good on defense. Purdue will be no joke when we play them. Yeah, Purdue will be no joke. He's a good coach. They will have better players, but that guy's good. And he's got a quarterback. And then I saw Wisconsin, damn good on defense, average on offense. Fickle's darn good defensive coach. They will not be easy to move the ball on. But
yeah, and I thought that same night Nebraska was playing at the same time. Nebraska, they didn't look all that great against Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think we're going to have better players on both sides of the ball than Nebraska. In Raiola, he's not overly mobile, which is a good thing. He's a big, tall, athletic, accurate kid. They elevated they've got some receivers. That'll be a freaking tough game, man. Going to Lincoln will be tough. They do a lot. They're doing some different things on defense. He's a multiple front, a little more multiple front than what they were last year. So I think we have better players. We're going to go on the road. It'll be a hostile environment. They'll be undefeated when we go there. Michigan State is a better football team. They're a better team than they were last year, I think. Okay, so they're well coached in both sides of the ball. They run the outside zone real well. They got an athletic. They elevated their receiver room. So that game will be a war, man. It'll be a battle going there. So that's who else is on our schedule? I didn't see Washington. Maryland's got a hell of a quarterback. They scored a lot of points. Loxley always finds a way to get his quarterback hurt, though. He runs them too much. So let's see if that's the thing. Like we got our guy now. We got to be real cautious with how many times we run him.
Let me ask you about Underwood's block. There's like, oh, great. And they're like, not so much. And I don't know. Do you want your quarterback? Do you talk to him? There's a part where you just say, hey, get out of the way. I don't really like that. And there's a part where you just get in the way. But then the defensive players, like a lot of times they just throw the quarterback. But he looked like he was leading with his throwing shoulder, which I would say, they probably talked to him about, you can get a block without putting your throwing shoulder into him. What do you think the conversation was like there? Because they liked it, but they didn't like it.
No, he's got to be smart. I don't know why he was in the game up 17 with 2 minutes left or something like that. I think he threw a pass and got sacked.
Everybody was in the whole game. Yeah.
I don't understand why he was in the game up 17, rolling out.
John Benny was on in the second from last play. He was going out. Looked like he aggravated.
We rotate defensively. It's irrelevant because we rotate so many guys, but we're not rotating as many on offense. But he's got to be smart, man. So we got to really limit how much we run them.
Okay, good stuff.
That's all I had on the Big Ten.
Well, good. And we talked about the game, and so we're ready to go to the film, aren't we? Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. So with that, I want to tell everyone, if you want to analyze the game like Scar, and you want to go through and draw the arrows and all the different angles and everything else, your place to store, share, and analyze game film is Quick Cut Video and Analytics. It's Quick Cut, QWIKCUT. You see it on Twitter. You see us tag our friends at Quick Cut. You can get it done that way and get it done. As then you can be like Scar. And go through
Danny, back in the day, we used to get offensive linemen reps, try to get them in the game. So we used to put them on the punt kick return team. But you got to be fast. These guys are like linebackers and safeties now. And I'm watching what Michigan's doing, and they're just kind of backpedaling and walling up, having like two little walls. These guys are going to work back. And then we run. You can't run the wedge anymore. You used to be able to get all four guys in a wedge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was the job, man. I was on kickoff team. That you have to go through that wedge. They don't allow it anymore, but we're doing kind of a kick out with three, and then we have another guy lead. Pretty simple stuff. We got to secure the ball though, man. That was the terrible dropping the football. Marsh, we'll look at that when he dropped the ball, but just fired up, man. This is the first time starting for some of these guys in Michigan Stadium. Sprague first time starting in Michigan. And Denny, the first play of the game, man. Like I said, you see a guy in practice, and how's he going to throw the ball now? What's he going to do under the lights, man? And I just felt so confident. I felt so confident, and what I liked about there's two things I like, man, Denny, about this coming out of this game. I'm gonna hammer it up real good. Is I really like that Lindsey will throw the ball on first down. Okay, we are an unpredictable offense. I bet you we're 50-50 run pass on first down. So look, they are loaded up. There's 8 dudes in here to stop this run game. They're all up in there tight. And this guy's sneaking in. I told you that was going to be this guy's philosophy. So he's got 8 right there, and he's got a 9th guy sneaking up. So you have to be able to throw the football. See how fast these guys are coming up? Anyway, I loved it. I was confident. There's, again, 2 things I love. The accuracy, and our coach is throwing on first down. So he dimes this one in here. I got a lot of plays. I'm not going to go over all of them, but it was pretty darn good. This is a big run now. I question how we're blocking this. This is the touchdown run. We got a better look here. Good job blocked by Bredesen. And the next.
What do you mean you question it? He was on.
I'm questioning how we're blocking it. It's a great. Listen, Danny, it's a great job. And we'll look at it. This other view is a little better. But I like seeing these guys celebrate. So anyway, this view is a little better. Right? So basically, Denny, we run this play a lot of different ways. This is we will block everything down. That's one way we block this. Everybody blocks down, and this guy will kick out, and we run the ball up in there. That's one way we block this play. Okay. Another way that we block this play is we'll block this dude out, block down here, and we'll lead him through on an isolation play. That's what I think we're trying to do. But it ends up looking kind of ugly because it looks like he doesn't know who to block. This is what happens as a coach, Denny, is you're watching a play. So Oklahoma's looking at this play. Oklahoma's looking at this play, and they're trying to figure out how the hell are they blocking this? How are they going to block us? Because it doesn't look real smooth here. Because it looks like if you watch number 9, he's like, who the hell do I block? Where am I going? You see how the hesitations, Danny?
Yeah.
So, because it looks like Klein is trying to turn out the defensive end. And so anyway, my point is these guys are also confused, though, because they're seeing these guys are looking at number 9. Believe me, they're kind of feeling this play too. They don't know if the play's going to hit outside. They're all feeling this thing. These guys are feeling it. He's feeling it, but it doesn't look smooth. It ends up being, a touchdown. You get Bredesen sticking on his guy, and Goodwin eventually gets in the way of somebody, and they take a bad angle. This guy goes inside. So this is a good job by our running back, though, that maybe he baited him. I don't know if he baited this guy into coming underneath here, and he gets out of position, this secondary guy, and then he takes it outside. Anyway, this is a good job by Bredesen, and it's a mistake for their defense not being gap sound. And again, Oklahoma, because there's many times, Denny, I would look at a play coaching, trying to figure out how the hell are they blocking something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just don't always know. Anyway, way to start the game. Here's number one, and we got third and 9. Here's number one in the game on the edge. So he's got 3 edge players in the game. He's got this. So we're running a 5-1, and he'll bring Barham out here. And I understand now with the speed why he's going to work him in a little bit on passing situations. I think
McCulley. Yeah.
No, this is Barham over here. We're on defense.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Barham.
Yeah, Barham. We're on defense now. So anyway, I understand why he likes working him in, because he is quick off the edge, and you have 2 backers in the game. And if you want to adjust and get out of what he called, he can do that because he has 2 backers. But anyway, he brings them out to the edge. He's got 8 and 4. He ran a lot of that Saturday. 8 and 4 to the same side. I really like 7 and 6. You know, I talked to one of the coaches this summer, and they were really high on both of these players. And so here's 3rd and 9, and you know, ball gets outside the D, but man, Hillman can run and he will hit. And I like how number 7 reads this thing. What's his name?
TJ Metcalf. TJ Metcalf.
I just, you know, he's here, and he recognizes run, he recognizes it, get outside and come up and tackle. You know, it's hard. You got to recognize run. You got to go from run to pass real quick. And I really liked our coverage. Okay, so score 7-0. It's 3rd and 2 here. I like the flat backs. And Denny, I really like how we're running. We can run the 44 and we can run the 17. These guys are overcommitting to run, man. You know, but I love. This is one of the things I came out of this as a former defensive coach and player. If you look at this formation, again, we can run. We can be Bredesen-handed. Okay, we can run to the right. We can run to 17. And we can throw from this formation. But we are a left or right-handed. We can be either one. We can run behind Sprague. We can run behind Link. So defensively, we are not where's Honingsford or, Loveland's a great player, but we weren't running to him with his hand in the ground. It just wasn't happening. So we're looking at this formation. I mean, he's got 8 dudes right here, close up in there on 3rd and short. But I like that we can run either way with this personnel we have in the game. And these receivers are both threats. This is executed play, and he's reading the block of 17. Bredesen is reading the block of Klein here. So Bredesen is reading this block. If Klein blocks him down and moves him, he'll come right off his ass and block the first thing out here. But he gets a little bottled up in there, and Klein blocks him a little bit, but not enough. So Bredesen realizes where the play wants to hit, and he ends up blocking him too. And we just get pushed there and get the first down. So he's reading the block of Klein. Anyway, it's a good conversion. And I really like, again, you're going to hear me beat it up, Danny, because I don't think we weren't that team so much last year that we could run left or right. Here's 1st and 10 again. And here's a 6'4" quarterback. It's 1st and 10, and here's a 6'4" quarterback. And I like this little scheme here. It's an influence. We're pulling the guard to get this linebacker out of here. We've had this in last year. Shimon Moore had this play in. And we're running a 4 vertical look. And the tight end is wide open. But getting that linebacker out of there helps because he's biting up on run. You know what I mean, Denny? Because when he sees that guard pull, so this guy is reading the guard. This linebacker is feeling, in general, they're feeling guards through to the quarterback. You know, to read run or pass, they're going to read some offensive lineman. Some guys have him read the tackle, whatever. But when he sees that guard pull, he's reacting to run. He's stepping up. You see him stepping up a little bit? Yep. See, he's stepping up, honoring run, and that gives a little better window, a little more room to throw this football. But we're running defense out of there. We're running 4 vertical. And it's a good design, good scheme. But we're not looking at 5-6-1. You know, We're not going to have as many passes blocked down, hopefully. Got a big, tall kid back there. Throws a dime, secure the ball. So that play is a good scheme. I just want to pound it again, man. We secured the darn football, both of these guys. Not both, but the quarterbacks and the running backs secured the football. Secure the ball, secure the ball. What's the down and distance? 3rd and 2. Again, 44-17. Now we're running the football, but we've got things to put the defense in conflict, Denny. We're going to hand the ball off here, but they have to honor Bryce Underwood keeping the football. These 3 guys are feeling, there's 2 receivers out here, but they're also feeling Bryce, that he might throw it, that he might run it. See, because right now the ball's in the gut of the back. These guys don't know if he's pulling it out or not. And if you got a kid that can run, Oklahoma is going to see this kid run. We're gonna pull that out against Oklahoma, but we didn't need to do it against New Mexico. But anyway, it's in, and it's slowing these dudes down. So we've got a guy who's not in the play, slowing defenders down from getting to the football. So this kid gets there, but he gets there a little late because he has to honor Bryce. You see that? See this guy get here, but he has to honor Bryce. So he gets a little bit late. Anyway, all that stuff, it all matters. It all matters. How fast is the quarterback matters in terms of being an honest linebacker on that play. Running the ball. Good. Just this play. I'm going to take a look at the other angle. Is a better angle. But this is 3rd and 3. And possible quarterback run here. We get them. They're a little confused. And go find your teammates, man. Go find your teammates. Go find them big dudes. Don't make them come looking for you, man. I used to coach that, Denny. We score a touchdown, you come find them big fat dudes. Them big number 74 type dudes.
Yeah.
You don't go high five just looking at the man, go find the big fellas. There you go. Okay, let's take a look. So this is 3rd and 3. I don't know that they're sound on defense. We're blocking everything down. And he's reading. Okay, so Bryce is reading. What's he reading here? Is he feeling this guy? I mean, it's not real sound. There's nobody out here.
No.
He gives the football. They end up with 2 guys in this gap. This defense has a guy here and a guy here. They really got nobody out here. It's not real sound. And he ends up going inside and bouncing it out. And then Bryce gets this little block here. But I'm not quite sure how Bryce is reading this thing, why he just decided to give, unless it was predetermined. Sometimes, Denny, you just say, the hell with it. The coach will just say, we're not reading it. We're just going to predetermine it, and you just carry out the fake. You understand what I mean by that?
Sure, because he probably doesn't want. I could see it in a game like this because he doesn't want Underwood carrying the ball.
Yeah, I mean, we are hammering him here. We're getting great movement and great push, and there is something there. There's still potential for a first down going right off the butt of Link here, But it might have just been a predetermined call because it looks like it should have been a keep for the quarterback because there's nothing out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he gives it, and the back makes a play, and we get it outside, and it's good. Okay.
Underwood might have got to that the pylon without being touched if he would have kept it.
That's right. So what do we got? 2nd and 5. I got 44 marked, and I got 6 and 7 again. But I think we're reading the quarterback here. And I tell you, this coach was pretty good. This is a great game for our defense. We saw smoke and mirrors. We saw a lot of stuff. We saw some confusing, some schematic stuff. This guy challenged our defense. He didn't challenge our coaches. Oklahoma will have better players, but this quarterback was good. I think we might have faced a better quarterback than Ohio State did. I'm being honest.
I know you are. I know you're being honest.
How many passes did this kid throw that were uncatchable? He was running for his life a lot. Anyway, this is a good scheme by them. This right here is a good scheme. So he's reading, the quarterback is reading, I think that's Hausman out here. Who's this linebacker here? He's reading them. So they're motioning out to empty. So the linebacker has to make a decision. Am I going to sit in on this curl here, or am I going to break on the back? He should be going curl and then breaking on the short route, but he hangs on that back a little bit, and I don't know that that's how you want to coach that. We were always coached up, deep to short. You break, you cover the deeper route, and then you break on the short route. Don't let them throw it over. I mean, what's the down and distance? Second and 5. But I think this is a good scheme by them. I like this because it's a good scheme, and they execute it. And he reads this player, and there's a seam there, and he throws it right there. So that's yeah, they don't have the best players, but that was a good, well executed play against our defense. Here's 2nd and 1. I had 44 there. Why the hell did I have 44 marked there? Oh, I
don't know, Scar, but if I could jump in on 44, Damon Payne had the highest ranked score from Pro Football Focus of any player, I think, on Michigan, 90 something. I was looking at that earlier, and 90's about the elite score you can get. So you hadn't heard much about him. You'd hear more about Trey Pierce and Williams, Trey Williams, but man, Damon Payne played great.
Danny, the only guy you want to listen to talk about the players that really are of significance is Sharon, Wink, and Espo. Talk about them. The rest of them are a lot of noise, but I'm just throwing. Anyway, I like this rush. What I saw from Payne was he did a pretty good job on double teams. He never got too high and got knocked off the ball. And I like he's punching here and walking his guy back into the quarterback a little bit. And he's that was a nice little rush there. So yeah, Payne. All of our guys inside there were decent. Okay, Mason Graham is gone, but we were respectable. And here's 2nd and 1. Yeah, the way we coach this and scheme this, Danny, we do different things here. Sometimes Wink will cat and mouse this and try to fool the guy. Okay, sometimes Wink will do it the way we did it old school. What's going on here?
I want to get you a job with Pro Football Focus. I'm contacting them. I'm going to tell them because, I'm just reading it, Scar, just as you're looking through things. They employ hundreds of analysts, including former players, coaches, and scouts. That's who they got. I mean, that's you.
Yeah,
you're two of those 3. So let's get you in grading the all 22.
Danny, I'm locked up here. I don't know what the hell's going on.
That's all right. I just took you could always minimize it and go back to it, and maybe you could fast forward.
What the hell happened here?
Tell me when you have it. I think it's a good idea myself too. I'm gonna contact the folks over at Pro Football Focus.
No, I mean I get it. They're good people, but he did some good things.
Yeah, I mean, if they would attach their names to it, everybody would just be like, "This guy's completely biased." If it doesn't matter where he was, you'd find some kind of angle on the analyst that was grading the all 22 and start. So they probably have to keep it anonymous that way because they understand how people are going to be. But it took a long time. Every player you got to look. Okay, let's get a grade at him. Let's play grade. Oh, it's nice to look at.
Hey, Danny, I don't know what's happening here. I'm going to let's go back to you and me. We'll talk for a minute. Talk about some things while I'm going to try to log out and get back.
Okay, you go ahead and do that. I was at Sharon Moore's news conference today, and Sharon Moore, who has his degree from Oklahoma, was asked about going back, and he made it really clear that there's a lot of familiarity that he has with the coaching staff, and he did get his degree from Oklahoma, But that's about it. This game is all about the players. He wasn't going anywhere, and he was asked 3 or 4 times about, oh, will you do this or that? He said he might go out and, after the game or before the game, you see a coach used to coach with, or, they kind of exchange some pleasantries. That stuff happens. But as far as anything else, he was not getting into that. Just like he was asked about, well, did you pick these 2 games, and then sit out? After Saturday, of course, he's going to have to sit out, and he didn't want to talk about that either. He wasn't getting in to that. Called Matera gunslinger, but a lot of people are comparing to Baker Mayfield. I don't think he was really buying the comparison. I think he said because they're similar stature, so Matera and Mayfield must be about 6 feet, 6'1", that kind of stuff. So I was interested to hear both Sharon and the players talk about. Gio El-Hadi said Michigan probably brings out every speaker that they have in Ann Arbor at times to simulate the crowd noise or get music, and they'll have worked on that a lot. Silent counts. I was wondering, and they're not going to really give you the answer here. Underwood, passed with flying colors on Saturday. How much does he get up at the line to change things around? Usually you think about the veteran quarterbacks with the ability, and Sharon said it was good that they had Crippen and El-Hadi who will really be able to help. I guess you're talking about if you have to change up a play late, if you're looking at something, blitz scheme wise, but to me, that's going to be a pretty big deal.
No, I compare him to Baker Mayfield too. Anyway, we do different things. I'm up and running, Danny. Can you get it back?
Yes, I can, Scar. I'm going to have to snap my fingers, though.
Anyway, we do different things here. Sometimes we cat and mouse this, and sometimes we just go after the dive, and we leave the quarterback wide open here. Easy conversion. Wing changes that up. I've got 4, 9, and 30 here. What's it down in distance? 3rd and 10. So he's bringing Brandt in. He likes Wink, and same with the other guys. They'll bring an edge guy in and take a defensive lineman out in these passing situations. So good job there. And Brandt had the most reps of all the edge guys. Thought that was interesting. But they're all around like 35. Nobody's playing 70 snaps. I like this pass rush here. What's it down in distance? 1st and 10. I like the push inside. We got good contain. Squeeze that pocket. And he throws it into the helmet of the guy. But, you got to give credit. Who is this? Is that Payne? Who's that? I think that is Payne, right? Who's pushing right into the yeah, that is Payne. Payne stuffs his guard right back into the quarterback. And this is why you go get athletes, man. You recruit athletes. TJ Guy looked like a basketball player going up to get that ball, man.
Yeah, it was nice all around there.
Yeah, you recruit athletes to make these kind of plays. Punching, now you got to elevate. Look at that. That's a great play. That's why you recruit athletes.
Yeah, a lot of times you don't think like a defensive end or if is going to make a play like that. But
that kid's played. He's played other sports, man. He caught that ball, no problem. No, really. You can tell the guys that they brick hands. Here's jet sweep. I like it. We execute it. We're running to 44. He does a great job here. Bredesen does a great job. He has to read the coverage. What are they in? They're in a man coverage, and he doesn't block the guy who's covering him. Bredesen does a great job here. He doesn't block the guy who's covering him. He blocks the safety who's going to run support. This is one of the weaknesses of man defense. He doesn't block him. He blocks the safety. Now, this guy's backpedaling because he was covering Bredesen. You follow me?
Yeah.
So that's a good scheme. That's a great job by him because you don't know exactly who's covering you or what the situation is. Here's 3rd and goal. I don't like this pass. Kind of risky there. We rolled the dice a few times there. Kicker was solid. Protection was solid. 19. Great job. What's up with the chain, Denny? The kid with that. What's that gold chain about? Anyway.
Sweet.
Good scheme here. Again, this is a good scheme by New Mexico. 1st and 10. They're doing something with the guard. Oh, I like this play. It's just, again, Danny, they're doing things with the guard to influence linebackers too. You see how they pull this guard here?
Yeah.
You know, why are you pulling them? It's just to get this linebacker to suck up like it's a run play. And then he throws it out there in the flat. I haven't seen that scheme, and it's good. It gets this linebacker to commit, get him out of here, and a nice little pickup. It's a low risk play. I'd like to see Chip take a look. Sometimes you pick up things from guys. What do we got here? Scheme again, 2nd and 10. What are they doing? This guy did some good things, man. Oh, he's running 2 guys right at our linebacker. He's making our linebacker make a decision because he knows we like to run a lot of zone. So the linebacker is what we call the curl player, hook the curl player. He's going to sit inside he's going to feel this guy, number 2. He should work back in here. And he does. That's how I would have coached. That's how we were coaching it. Stay back on the curl and break it. But they do it. They put him in a bind, Danny. They put the player in a bind. This is a good scheme because you have 2 routes, and and either way he loses if the quarterback picks the right one. So that's good scheme. That's not always being the biggest and strongest. You got to win with smoke and mirrors too. This guy did some good smoke and mirror stuff, man. What's the down and distance? 2nd and 2. I got Danny, what player is that I have circled?
I'm looking.
Oh, man. Did I freeze up again? I think I'm going too damn fast, Danny. For this
there you go.
Yeah, I think it's froze up again, man. I'm going too fast.
It happens.
It's yeah, I gotta have to probably log out again, man. I'm sorry. It's
okay. I'm enjoying the film. It's okay.
Go ahead. You can fill in for I'll be done in a minute.
Let me just take a minute, Scar, while you're doing that to tell everybody about On 3 and all of us here. And what we want is you to go to On 3 and click Maize and Blue Review. And you do that. I would say for me, if I was you out there and you wanted more coverage after watching Michigan on Saturday, Michigan has a superstar quarterback and he lived up to the hype. Download the app On 3. And then when you hit it, they say, the sign in stuff's right there. So it all happens. And then you always have it with you. You're ready. I mean, even on the walk home from the game, you're over there and saying, wow, I wonder what they're saying. You don't have to wonder. Boom, you're in. You're talking Michigan. It's right there. You'd have been able to see the video from the Maize and Blue Review on the field after the game. You'd have been able to see that. Now, I did save, walking up from the field, anybody that has ever been down there on the field and then has walked the steps, you get to the tunnel, you're thinking, whoa. Scars, you ever run the steps there at the stadium?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's a hell of you could be in pretty good shape, man. Walking up. I was like, woo.
Danny, I'm up and running, man. So let's I'm going to go a little slower. I'm not going to rewind it so fast. That's what it is. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm a little quicker this year.
Thing, Scar, Michigan, they dictated the tempo. They had this quick stuff to show.
Yeah, I think I'm a little quicker, man. Scar's getting quicker and old. Anyway, here they motion it empty. What are we doing? We're offside. See, this is why TJ guys should be smarter. You rotate guys. You got to get a feel for the cadence. So we saw guys jump off sides. They got to coach that up.
Coach it up.
Yeah. Well, you just got to be patient until you get a feel for things. And here's Eck. I mean, I've seen this play. The dummy play. You just don't. The offensive line doesn't move. But again, this guy's creative. Eck, the head coach at New Mexico. Offensive line doesn't move. He throws a screen away from it. And it's good that our guys saw it. It's you have you don't. It's the kind of play you might see once, twice a year. You know what I mean? You can't work on that play because you don't see it. Communication, discipline, and this is a planned deal to bounce the ball, Danny. We used to have a kick return where the guy catching the kick on a kickoff,
Yeah,
he will catch it and then deliberately drop it.
I like that.
Because the defense sees the ball on the ground. There's a tendency it's second nature to kind of just stop and figure out what's going on.
Right, you break stride.
You break stride. It gets you off your rhythm. Why is the ball? What do I do when the ball's on the ground? And then the guy would pick it up and throw it across. We'd throw it across the side to the other side of the field on our kick return. That's what we did. Similar concept. But there's no reason for that we should lose. You know, there's no reason this guy should lose his coverage. And we're not communicating here. It's just there's no excuse for that play.
So, Scar, you're telling me that long snapper bounced that ball on purpose?
Well, that's what Blackledge said it, and I believe it. Blackledge said he talked to their coaches. He said it during the broadcast, and I believe it because you rep it enough, Denny. You rep that play enough. Obviously, you can't predict exactly how a ball is going to bounce.
Right.
They did get a lucky bounce, but I understand the concept of why they would try to do it. Okay.
All right.
You know what I mean? Because he trickles it back there and everybody pauses and it's I've never seen it run from in that type of situation. I saw it with kick return.
I would think if you're firing that ball back there because it's, you have funny bounces that they could easily bounce right over the guy's head or it can
I get it. I
go
understand.
the other way.
Anyway, here's sudden change. We screw around. I don't know how he's holding the football. I worked the camp with Freddie Jackson one year, and I learned how to teach your running backs to carry the ball. You really have 5 pressure points: your palm, your fingers, your forearm, and there should be 5. You got your palm, your fingers, your forearm, your bicep, and your chest. And this ball is not
there. I see. He's away from the body there.
Those points. He's up and look at this thing. That's not how you hold the football. That's not. I bet you that's why they didn't play as much as a receiver too. You do that, that will kill us at Oklahoma, man. Great game tricks. Again, this guy he went through everything, man. Here's shuffle pass. He tried everything, and it's all good. This stuff is great for us, man. I could ask. I said it. I could not ask for a better first game for our defense. We played about 45 guys, and we saw a lot of different stuff. Hey, it wasn't no shutout. I get it. But we saw a lot of things.
X said after the game, we should have got called for one. I think he was talking about that one there. Good
protection here. Good way to analyze what the defense is doing. And this is now us putting them in conflict. They're in a two deep coverage. We're running 2 guys right at the guy in the hash. We're making him make a decision. We put him in a bind. We put him in conflict. You see how we're doing that, Danny? This play design is designed to attack this kid right here. This guy right here. It's designed to attack him. And we put him in conflict, just like they were putting us in conflict. So this is a good scheme by Chip. It's executed by Bryce. It's executed by the receivers. And it's a big conversion.
Yeah, that was my favorite throw of the game. That wasn't not my favorite throw of the game, but that was one of my favorite throws of the game. My favorite one was to Bell, but that was
here's 2nd and 9. We got to get the first down. Good protection, picking up stunts. Our guys did a great job picking up. And this will help us. Some of these stunts, Nebraska runs this stuff. I think he might have been short here. Is that the one he made? Anyway, I like this route in reception here. Oh, I like the block. I like McCullough blocking. Denny, this stuff is good. I want receivers that can block. We want them to catch. We don't want no imposters out here. Every receiver has to be a threat. Every receiver is a threat. Every offensive lineman's a threat. They got to defend everything. But I like how he's blocking here. Comes in eyes up a safety. picks up some extra yards. First down again, Danny. First down. It's first down.
Yeah, they're running it, right? They'll be running the ball.
That's why I love Chip, man. I think Sharon Moore and Chip, they said, hey, man, they looked at last year's game, and I was pounding it last year. It's a wheel route. Get him. I hate defending this play. It's
nice route.
It's a problem versus man. It's a problem versus zone. I always had trouble defending this.
Nice footwork by Klein.
Yeah, it's just they screw it up. They're confused. It's a simple play, but it's problematic. And you run it. The back out of the backfield was always the toughest, and he's in the backfield there, and they don't get it. I like the celebration as a team. Find your teammates.
Made that look easy.
Yeah, we're not lined up right here. This is how we start the second half. This is not how we want to be. We're screwed up. The first play of the second half, they've got tight end in the game up here, and we got three. We've never been in this front. I've never seen this with just three dudes in here like this. So we're not over here. We're screwed up, and you can see it see how he's waving. Now he comes late.
Yeah.
See you see guys. I could see him communicating up there. This guy right here. He's saying, well, we're jacked up. We're screwed up. He knows it. And he's messing with his mouth. I don't know. Messing with it's a mental breakdown. That is a mental breakdown. Can't do that against Oklahoma.
And a missed tackle. You're right. That's going to go for the distance maybe against Oklahoma.
Benny missed him there. We got more confusion here. Why do I got him circled? Oh, I don't like the drop. I don't like the drop. We got to know what's the down and distance. 3rd and 12. Again, Denny, I don't know how they're coaching this. We were always coached. He should drop into that curl. Okay, on pass. Okay, he reads pass. He should be looking up number 2. He's a curl player. He should be looking up to get inside of this guy, and then everybody breaks on anything short. But he's biting on this, and then they throw it right in there. I don't know how they're coaching that. I just maybe it's different than how I coached it and how we used to defend it. You follow me there? We got to defend the curl, then break on the 5-yard route. Denny, this play right here is what defensive coordinators in the Big Ten don't want to see. This is what they do not want to see. And I beat this up. I'm going to beat it up some more. Every receiver we put in the game has to be a threat. They have to be a threat that we're going to throw the ball to them, and that they're going to block. There's absolutely zero weaknesses in any receiver we put in the game. Some of them we can jet sweep to. We can throw bubbles to all of them. We can throw it to all of them. They all have to be threats. So these guys are threats, these two receivers here. Both tight ends are threats. We can throw to 44. We can throw to 17. And when 42 gets healthy, we can throw to him. We can run behind 17. We can run behind 44. We can run behind 54. We can run behind 71. So there is nothing by the personnel we have on the field that indicates anything. They got to defend the whole field, deep, short, intermediate, everything. They got to defend everything, run, pass, everything. This kid can throw it anywhere. He can run it. So that's one. Okay. Second thing, it's first down. Okay. It's first down. Okay. So I got here. It's on the 6-yard line, Denny. And it's first down. And Chip, our boy Chip, he's got some cojones, man. It's like, you ain't getting a beat on me. Look at how many dudes they got in the box. They got 5, 6, 7, 8, and this guy's going to come up late, I bet. Let's see. So they're going to have, this guy is coming. So we're running a tight end delay because it's first down, and they technically have 9 guys that can come up and kill any kind of run play right now because of what Michigan has done. And what's the formation? And it's first down on the 6-yard line. But Sharon Moore and Chip say, the hell with you. We're running tight end delay. He's going to block for a second, 17, make it look like a run, and then he releases. And we get this kid beat. We get this kid fooled. Oh, man.
That was a hell of a throw.
Yeah, I'm frozen. I do not know what's going on with this thing today. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, well, you can go ahead. I'll just tell everyone that what I saw on that one, that would also, if you were ranking your favorite plays of the game, I certainly could go to that Klein touchdown pass, but I would go with that Klein catch right there from your own end zone on first down, like Scar's talking about. Nice touch pass. For all the things, I thought watching the game too that maybe Underwood throws the ball too hard. And McCulley today said he sprained his finger catching passes from Bryce Underwood. Zeke Berry had mentioned that he had sprained his finger from trying to catch a ball from Bryce Underwood. Sharon Moore said that he's not catching any passes from Bryce Underwood. He had to do that when he was tight end coach, catching pass. He's not doing that anymore. You better have your hands ready because that ball is going to be on you. You got to go. But it wasn't just all fastballs. He was able to throw with a little touch as well. So those are the things that you're sitting when you're talking about the aerial attack and just how much Underwood can get back there and just blast the ball into it. All right, Scar, where are you at?
Oh, we're up and running again. I don't know what the hell the deal is.
You got the play call. You seem like you're doing a good job.
Okay. Anyway, we got 6 up here. What's the down and distance? 2nd and 1. Wink's bringing 6 dudes. He's got Barham coming off the edge. We've seen the play, and he's just got to be. They work on it in practice. I guarantee you, they work on it. You got to go for the chest. You cannot go for the head, and we've seen it. We're upset about it. And I see why Wink has him coming off the edge. What's the down and distance? 3rd and 9. We lose contain here. This is not good. This is Hausman. He's rotating a lot of different guys in there at the edge position. And one of the downsides, Danny, Wink likes to have multi-positional guys, but you just don't get good. There's some things you just don't get good at. When you're playing the edge position, you work on this every day in practice. Hausman is playing inside backer. Anyway, we get reached there. This is not a catch. Terrible call. But we get reached. I don't like it. And I don't know how this guy has a job. I'd fire that dude right then. You're going to fire our guy. You're going to suspend our guy for a game. You looked at it. You looked at the film. You looked at it, and you said, "Why does this guy still have a job?" I'd love to have that job that this dude had. That is just watch the game, and if you see something that's terribly wrong, hit a buzzer. You know what I mean?
Why didn't Michigan challenge it?
I don't know, but it's upsetting.
Well, you can't be too upset if you have a mechanism to overturn it. So
we got to play this screen better. Rolder's got to, Nichols has got to feel it. He's got to feel this thing. You get a crummy block, and this linebacker's got to be outside right shoulder here. Get the ball back to the defense. He goes inside of that guy. That's 5 extra yards if he would have gone outside of it. I like Benny here. Punching, coming across, making a play. We got to get more guys doing these kind of things, Denny. More defensive linemen, punching. This is Mason Graham type stuff. Punching. He's an A-gap player. He's punching with he's inside of the guard. Where's he at? Inside of the. Yeah, he's a 3 technique. He's inside the tackle. Tackle's trying to cut him off, and he makes a play. And this referee, look at this guy. Look at this 78. Look at 78. Boom. This guy's standing here. What are you looking at, man? How do you have a job? What are you watching, man? Our guy didn't do anything. Look at 78. Who starts it? Boom. And then, he wants to come after him, and good job by Benny getting look at it. I didn't do nothing. Terrible referee, man. We got to read this. This is on Moore. He's got to feel it. 3rd and 4. He's got to get the back's out of the backfield. You got to know, you got to slow down a little bit. They're running a defense where he has the back out of the backfield, Denny. So he's got to read run at the line of scrimmage, read runner, and now it's passed. He's got to pick him up. And this is one of the downside of having 260-pound edge players. You know, we weren't as big when I played there. We were doing these same things, asking guys to do it, but this is a fast back, and it's hard to do.
As Guy.
Oh, was that TJ Guy?
Yeah.
And we get shugged there with an interference.
He didn't have the greatest of games.
Well, they're coming at, they're challenging him. You gotta have more discipline, man. Stay on your man. Don't let him get outside of you or inside. You always stay between just like basketball, Denny. You want to get inside position of this guy. And make him come out here, but don't let him cross your face. He lets him pump fake him there and get across his face. Good job by the quarterback. That's technique. That's a technique play. I mean, he's a big 6'5" tight end. Let's see here. Good. What's good? Oh, good movement. Good. Good decision. You know what? You know why this is a good decision, Denny? Because you know what? No one's open. We're up 10. End of the third quarter. We're up 10. Just, you know what? No one's open. Run and throw it there. And let's just punt the damn ball. People look at that, and I look at it and say, you know what? That's good. Let's punt the ball. We got a good punter. We'll stick them deep. We're up 10. This is one of Wink's favorite defenses, 4th and 9. Or wait, what are we doing here? Oh, this is the interception, yeah. Wink likes this stunt, slanting, and then bringing the backer around to contain. So we get some good pressure here. But, it's one of those things, Denny. Yeah, somebody should repeat, hey, guys, it's 4th down. But it's just so much second nature, to catch the football. To think to just knock it down is, it's just something you got to work on. Anyway, good stop. 44. Block down, kick out. These guys, this is why, Hoffman is hurt, supposedly, but this is a big collision, Denny. Denny, these are big-time collisions. And you got to be smart in practice with your tight ends and your fullback guys, because he's coming all the way across the formation, and these collisions in practice, they add up. But it's a nice block. We get good movement. We get the first down.
Bredeson's a real jackhammer.
Yeah, but Denny, everybody has limitations, and you got to be smart with how much you're going to hit with.
You just don't want him. You don't want him.
No, you got to be smart.
All right.
Okay, what they light box? Oh my God, Denny, this is the last time, man. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. I'll give everybody an injury update while you're looking at it, because there are people on the chat asking about Rod Moore. Rod Moore, I would put him as questionable for the game coming up this weekend. If I had to guess, I would say that he probably would not play. Hogan Hansen was not on the pregame injury release on Saturday, which had people thinking that, that there was a possibility that he could have played. And I think that he probably could have played, but it's better to, it was New Mexico. If Oklahoma was in game 1, I think that Hansen would have played. I know there was a big fan who runs a Twitter account who said he, had talked to Steve Kasula, and Kasula had said, oh yeah, he's playing. Well, he wasn't, playing. So he ended up getting that one wrong. But yeah, it looked like Hansen back, and Moore, he didn't get a whole heck of a lot to, thinking that he would play. It would be a little bit of a surprise. But Sprague, it was just a cramp, so
He's good to go. I didn't hear anything about Mason Curtis. I saw Rashawn Benny at the end of the game, second or third play to last, looked like he was upset. I mean, he might have just been mad, and I don't know if he was limping, but he took his helmet, looked like he threw it down. But sometimes guys get banged up that way. All right, Scar, what are your
let's finish this thing up, Danny.
Finish it up. Let's do it. I'll put you back
we
up
looked
there.
at Bredesen there. This is Jim Harbaugh stuff. You could, one thing, when Jim got the job, I realized right away, boy, we were going to be good at wedge blocking and short yardage, and that was a big change from who he replaced. And Sharon has done a great job with it, and it's just we do a good job with wedge blocking. Let's get in the end zone. We're moving dudes, and there's enough movement there. So happy to see that. We want to see it against bigger competition. Got about 8 more plays. I got these 2 guys circled. What did they do? Oh, we got to get the 3 techniques got to try to come off this. This is a decent job by the edge player getting contained, but this is tough because there's a big gap in there. You see this big seam in here, Denny?
Yeah.
The 3 techniques pinned in. You got to try to work around that tackle. It's tough. It's one of the weaknesses of the defense. But good job containing there. Do we contain here? Oh, he gets pressure coming underneath.
This was the ball game. Took a shot.
Yeah, which player is that? Another good job by Rolder, though, man. Again, you recruit athletes, Denny.
Sullivan.
As an athletic play. Go up and get it. Good job.
Yeah. He didn't play many snaps. He'll play more probably in the first half, but he made him count.
Yeah, both him and Rolder are going to play.
Yeah.
Here's Winks, one of Winks' favorite stunts, coming underneath, bringing a backer. I don't like our edge player at the top, losing contain. If he's upfield more. Well, again, this is tough. This is tough on this tackle, but he's got to get outside here. You got to get him pulled up. So then this guy, then we got him. He's quarterback's running. I mean, we get him, but I'm looking for perfection, Denny.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't know why we're up 17. There's 2 minutes left. I'd like to see Jaden Davis in the game, and I don't want to see this guy taking hits. Why is he taking a hit here? We would be sick if something happened. I mean, look at that hit. I don't understand that.
All the starters were in on both sides, all the way to the end.
Yeah, well, Frazier's in there. Whatever, man. I don't agree with that.
Craig was banged up with the cramps.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. It's up 17.
Yeah.
'94 is in the game. They talked about him. I could see it. He's. I'm anxious to see what they end up doing with him. Is he going to be an edge guy, or is he going to be like a Jenk? He's probably 240 now. He's not the biggest kid. You can see the athleticism and the toughness.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I wonder, are they going to, is he going to be an edge player, or is he going to try to hit the training table and be like a Jenkins type kid? I don't know, but you can see. I like the punch. He's taking this tackle. He's walking him right back. I like that punch, driving him back. So that's Marshall right there. And again, I've said it, man. This is a good game for our defense to see a lot of trick plays, a lot of stuff to coach up. It'll help us. We do a good job executing this last play. This is a good stunt, and I like the edge player, Danny. This edge player right here. He has to nose this tackle up. He can't take a side. He has to just bull rush him. So this tackle can't bounce off. See, if he took an outside move, this guy would not be able to come through. Anyway, they coordinate it. It's done right, and it's schemed up right, and it's executed right. And that's all I got. And Big win, good win. A lot of guys played. Not enough on offense, but this kid, it's amazing. That's what I saw. I saw Baker Mayfield, man. That's what we're facing. Oklahoma is they got real good receivers. They got big playmakers at receiver. We got to outplay them at that position. We got to make plays. We got a guy that can run and throw. They got a guy that can run and throw. He's an athletic, confident, accurate kid. He is not what you want to go against. This Mateer kid. He's got receivers that can catch. I don't know that they have the greatest run game. I mean, they went against my old buddy over there, a guy who played against Brock Spack. He played linebacker at Purdue. Bo used to love saying his name.
That sounds like
going over the scouting report. Brock Spack, linebacker. That's a linebacker name. He was a D coordinator. Anyway, he was at whatever the hell it was, Illinois State. I think we got a better run game. That's what I think. That's what I'm hoping. But the kid is the deal. The quarterback and the formations. It's going to be a one-back spread deal. Okay, I don't know that he want to pound it against us. We got to take the run away. Tackle in space. Be great in the red zone. Same old stuff. They are multiple on defense. Multiple fronts. We're going to see more fronts against this team than anybody we faced. Some 3-4, some 4-2, some 4-1, some 2. He'll rush 2 guys at times. Venables is all over the place. And we got to know, we just got to block it. We got to execute it. We got to run out. We line up. We don't know what the hell they're going to be in, but we got blocking rules that save you. Denny, there's blocking rules that will always save you offensively and defense. Same thing with defense. No matter what the hell they line up in, we're going to be able to block them. So we got to execute no matter what they're in. But do what we did, man. Throw on first down, secure the football. Let's be great in the special teams. And we're all good, man.
We are all good. Great job on the film. Successful debut. If Michigan is able to come out, win this game, the excitement is going to be off the chart. So hopefully they're able to do that. Great job, Scar.
All right, Denny, go blue.
There he is. Thanks for being with us.